Hello and welcome to the Billionaire Journey podcast. Today we'll be talking about how to start and grow a co-working space. My name is Sola Mathew, and if you have not subscribed to this podcast, please go ahead and subscribe right now because we'll be releasing as many, awesome episodes as possible. So please do subscribe. So like I said, we want to talk about how to start and grow a co-working space. So let's first start talking about what exactly is a co-working space. Now, a co-working space is a shared workspace where people from different companies, industries, or professions work together in a communal environment. It's basically a flexible and collaborative work arrangement, that allows individuals to work in a professional setting while enjoying the benefits of a community. Now, the keyword there is community because it's very important that you have a community. We're going to talk about that more later on. Co-working space, typically provides, amenities such as high-speed internet, printing and scanning services, meeting rooms, private offices, kitchen facilities, and shared common areas. These amenities actually just allow individuals to work efficiently and comfortably while building relationships with other professionals in the space. Now, my journey into co-working space started sometimes in 2018 when I finished my National Youth Service year. I wanted to venture into business, into digital marketing. So I was looking for a space to rent, and the spaces that I saw, the offices were very costly at the time. I think there was one I eventually got, which I was supposed to pay, and I was then told that I had to pay for 2 years. It was like 300 and something thousand naira. So I had the money at the time, but I was like, this is not what I needed to do to start the business, because if I spent 300 and something thousand to just acquire an office space, I still needed to get more like chairs, office amenities, which I would not be able to afford at the time. So, and that would have taken, more than 60% of my money that I had in my startup capital. So I said to myself, this is serious, and then fortunately I was able to meet one of my friends. His name is Ado-ekiti. He had an office in one of the locations in the state, and then he said, oh, what are you looking for? I said, office. So he was like, oh, come and work with me. Come and work, just stay in my office. I don't usually use the place, you just be there. So, and truly, he doesn't often use the office. He just uses as more like a reference point. So he comes to the office, and then we're sharing the office. So I wasn't even paying anything. He just gave it to me for free. He was the one paying. But at the time, we needed to expand because we needed to start doing some trainings and, needed more convenience. So I was looking for an office space, and then one of my mentors and, I think it was then I just went to somewhere around an eatery. So I then was looking for an office, and then a particular guy told me that there was this flat that was free. It was a 3-bedroom flat, right? And I was like, oh, wow, okay, how much is it? And they told me the price. And then initially I couldn't transfer the exact amount, but eventually I was able to transfer the money. I think it was about 160,000 naira, or 80,000, 180,000. I'm not sure anymore. It's been a while. I think it was 160. I eventually paid the first year. So I just moved into the office, and I had a house. I rented at a time. So I gave out the house, to someone else, which gave me some money. And then I moved I was now living in the co-working space, one of the rooms there, So, and then the other 2 rooms were also there. So I was using the kitchen as kitchen. I was using one of the rooms as my room. And then the other 2, I made it co-working space. And there's a very big space sitting room. So that's where we also use as a space. initially we didn't have chairs. I just had one chair and I was looking for people. Then one guy came in and got rented one of our space and was paying monthly. So one of the things about co-working space is that you need to be able to provide flexibility and a very good competitive price. So that is basically how we started co-working space. And then eventually I was able to, I went to a particular program organized by Feed of Dreams and Skills, and in collaboration with the American Corner, and the American consulate here. And I won a mini grant of 100,000 naira. That was where I used to invest in buying chairs at the co-working space. Now, the space, we're able to launch different communities. We're able to do a lot of things, and then we were able to even partner with the government at the time to, empower young people with digital skills. So now that is basically how I started the co-working space, how we were able to, start it and eventually grow. So I'm going to share with you how you can start a co-working space and how you can also grow it from my own experience. So the first thing that you need to do is to conduct a market research, because when it comes to co-working space, one of the crucial things about co-working space is is the market. Do you even have market? Like, do people actually want co-working space? Sometimes, there are two ways to start a business. Either you create that solution and start looking for people to use the solution, or you have already a particular problem that is already looking for a solution and then you create the solution. I think the second one is usually the best, where the problem is already existing and then you create the solution. So before starting a co-working space, it's crucial to conduct, a thorough market research. I didn't really conduct market research. I just realized that, from my own experience, I knew that I had a problem. So I was thinking that a lot of people also had that problem. And to be honest, some people also had the problem and were able to get some customers eventually. In fact, there are some people who came from, came from another town or another state and then use our co-working space. So the research will help you determine if there is a demand for co-working space in your area. This type of, the type of amenities that those potential clients or customers are looking for, and the pricing and competition in your market. So you have to first identify, for example, are the people that you want to create the co-working space, are they going to be freelancers? Are they going to be startups or established businesses? So then research, okay, what kind of demographic would they be? Are they going to be more females or more of males, or both? So conduct this research. And it's simple as, you could even just start by asking businesses around, okay, how much do you pay for your space? If you find this kind of solution, will you be able to do it? Basically, conduct a research, right, to know if there is an existing market in your area. But if you have that problem, you should know that most likely there's going to be the same way, people looking for the same solution of the problem that you have. So the first thing is to conduct a market research, and the next thing is to find a suitable solution location. Just like co-working space to some extent is more like a real estate, right? It's more like real estate. So you have, when it comes to real estate, location is the key. So the location of your co-working space is critical to your success, right? And one of the things that helped us when we started co-working space then in Ado-ekiti, Nigeria, is that we were in a very nice location. We had an eatery just next to us. We had, we call it NEPA, but it's more like an electricity company beside us. We had, where you could buy things, So we have a very good location, and it's one of the most popular eatery in the state at the time. So it was easy for people to locate the environment, and it's not far from the school environment, not far from the market. It's just a very nice location that people could easily get. So getting a suitable location is very, very key. So look for a location that is easily accessible, has ample parking where people could easily park, and is near public transportation. In Nigeria, for example, most places have public transportation, but don't go and get a location in, for example, if you're in Ado-ekiti, you probably, if you went to maybe like places like Housing or Mission Jana, it might be very hard for people to really get public transportation. But that place where we were in Ado-ekiti, in Adebayo, very easy to get public transportation. So make sure that your location is near public transportation. You also want to ensure that the location has a good natural lighting, a quiet work environment, and provide easy access to amenities like cafes or restaurants. Just like I told you, our own place is just a stone throw away from the restaurant. So because people working in the co-working space will want to get something to eat and all of that. So location is very, very crucial. And I'm going to also talk about other things like amenities eventually. So the third thing that you need to do is to build a community. When we started the co-working space, we hosted free events like how to build a website, how to do this. So many people who are in that community that we wanted to attract were able to come to the co-working space to see what we're doing. And then we offer, at a time, then we give them the offer. Okay, we're going to give you this space to use for for 3 days or for 1 week, depending on the kind of offer that you want to give. So if people see that, oh yeah, this place is actually nice, then, they're going to use it. But that community, after our trainings or after our meetups, we then, introduce the co-working space to them. And some of them will eventually sign up maybe for 1 week or for 1 day. At a time, we actually even offered daily packages. So I'm going to talk about that in a short while. So build community. Community is one of the most significant advantages of a co-working. In fact, that's one of the things that we sell a lot, when it comes to our co-working space. So we'll tell people we have a community of this, where you can share things, you can share ideas. If you need a graphic designer is there. If you need a web designer is there, software developer is there, things like that. Community actually help and it foster growth. And so building a community of like-minded professionals is essential for attracting and retaining clients. So host events, organize workshops, and encourage collaboration among your clients to foster a sense of community. So if there's a graphic designer, if there is a freelance writer or developer, make sure that they all collaborate. It has a way of building a strong community for your co-working space. The fourth step is to offer a competitive pricing, right, and amenities. So pricing is another crucial factor in attracting and retaining clients. So research how much other co-working spaces, if they have, if there are co-working spaces around you, research how much they're offering. At the time, we started with a pricing of 2,500 Naira per month. Right, man, that was almost killed our business because we had to put on generator. There was no steady light in Nigeria at the time in my state, so we had to put on generator. The 2.5 was not enough, but it got us to attract customers, right? And then eventually we increased our prices on extent. And at the time, we eventually created the lowest price, the different pricing tiers. So we said daily price of 500 Naira. All you need is 500 Naira to come and work in a day. And so at least with the 500 Naira, we'll be able to buy 4, if we have more people coming. And then, we now said in a week, you pay, I think it was 2,500. And then in a month, maybe 5,000. But eventually we increased that to say maybe maybe, I think it was 5,000 per month and 7,500 per week. I'm not sure, but that was, the pricing was just there so that people will prefer the monthly package. But there are many people actually use the daily package as well. Eventually, I think that was the time we also increased to 1,000. I think it was 500. We left it at. So when we're doing our marketing, what we usually run ad with get a space for just 500. Because when people, that is a very crazy offer. And it's true because we're not lying. Because for just 500 Naira, you could come and work in a space. You don't even need chairs because at the time we had chairs, we have places, things that just bring your laptop and start working. And we're targeting with our advert. We run advert. We're targeting people, who are in the freelance softwares and all of that. So I offer a good, pricing. and offer amenities. One of the things that we struggled with, which was one of the most important parts of co-working space, especially in my area, was high internet speed. We couldn't provide that. At the time, we bought, all this internet facility from a particular company in Ekiti State, but the only time we enjoyed it was the first day it came. And we paid, it wasn't working very well anymore. And we wanted a situation whereby we'll be able to provide internet for other people to use. So it was difficult to do that. But I think with this particular, what is it called now? With this Elon Musk's Wi-Fi, right? Maybe you'll be able to do something like that. So, just find internet speed, right, is very, very important. High internet speed. It's very important that you're able to get that. So yeah, that Elon Musk is called Starlink. Yeah, it's called Starlink. So if you're able to provide something like that, but it might be costly too, especially if you're a startup that don't really have enough money. But if you're able to provide high speed internet, it's going to help. Then, maybe you also provide printing. At the time we had a printer, scanning services, then meeting rooms, kitchen. If possible, also provide complimentary, coffee and tea, So these are the things that you have to provide if you really want to attract people to your space. And especially, because at the time when I started, we didn't have enough money to provide those ambience that we would have loved to. Imagine you walk into a course, we said everywhere is tight, and in Nigeria, for example, if you have air conditioning, it's very, very good if you have that, so that people come in, their mind will set you. It's good to have something like that if you have the money, right? But if you don't have so much money to start, just begin with what you have and improve upon it. So this number 5 step is create a marketing strategy. I told you that the first thing that we had was we did events. We had events, a lot of events. And another strategy was we told people to also refer their friends. We're not giving them money, but we encourage them to refer, especially if they like the place. Then we also ran Facebook ads, Facebook and Instagram ads, and we wrote blog posts. So Facebook and Instagram ads, we started with get a space for just 500 naira. Now, if you go to Google and just search Coworking Space in Ekiti, most likely Go Global Hub will be the first thing you're going to see, because we also made sure that we wrote an article, a blog post that, a blog post that is actually optimized, is SEO optimized to show whenever somebody is searching for co-working space in Ekiti State, is going to see us, or maybe searching for a hub in Ekiti, is going to actually see us. So that is something that you want to do. If you have a website, it's super okay. Be on Google My Business, or now called Google Business Profile. Then keep up to date with trends. If you change your address, please make sure that you let everybody know. Okay. So these are some of the things that we offer. Then there's something we call virtual space, which we also wanted to do at the time, but you could add it to your co-working space. Somebody might not necessarily need to be in your location, but maybe wants to start up a business. You could register the person's business with your co-working space address, and get the person to send all the business documents. Please ensure that you contact a lawyer to help you file those documents, because it's very important, so that you don't get people that will be using your office to do fraudulent things. Okay, so do paid advertising. If possible, incentivize people, give them referral bonus when they invite people to your space. And continuously improve, right? Improve on your space, collect feedback regularly, implement changes if people have concerns that it's going to help you grow, So starting a co-working space actually and growing it is not easy, right? It's not going to be easy, to be honest with you. But if you able to practice those things that we've listed here, I believe that you can get so much to do. So much to benefit eventually. So overall, research and make sure that you offer, suitable pricing, get a good location, build a community, offer competitive pricing, and have a good marketing strategy. I hope that this podcast helps you to start and grow a successful co-working space. If you have any question, please send us an email at podcast@thebillionairejourney.com. podcast@thebillionairejourney.com. Or you could also, tag us on social media like Twitter by saying, ask your question, then use the hashtag The Billionaire Journey Podcast. Okay. I look forward to hearing from you, and I hope that, your co-working space, by the time you start, become successful by, helping other people, helping your community, and growing there. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Billionaire Journey Podcast. If you have not subscribed to our newsletter, please go to thebillionairejourney.com and subscribe. Have a lovely time. Bye.